Alright everyone, was the rumors wrong on Excalibur? Because we have the new patch 5.10 silhouettes here live from the Twitter page and Facebook of Marvel Strike Force here. You can see 4 new characters coming next patch, and honestly, when you take a deep look at this, none of these look like some of the characters that were being suggested for the Excalibur rework or Psylocke rework with Angel as the legendary character. So I think that it was still expected, though, that a legendary character was going to be coming next patch, especially as of the data that I have, that I collect in my character spreadsheet. So would any of these characters be the legendary character? Is the 4th going to be a legendary character? Let's zoom in a little bit more, and I also want to take a look at some of the comments that people have made on Twitter about this. So there's 4 portraits right there, and I kind of want to show you the longest one here is actually the longest one here is actually the 3rd one. Just want to move it over a little bit more, center it a bit more, is this one here. Now, some people were saying because of the curly hair and kind of afro looking, some people were suggesting that this could be Monica Rambeau from the WandaVision TV show. And for that matter, actually, people were suggesting that number 2 could be Agatha Harkness, or depending. I mean, what's interesting about the nameplate here is that it has actually a decent length. So would it be just Agatha, or would it be Agatha Harkness? Because if this is Monica Rambeau, that's a very long nameplate for starters. And and this is too long for just Monica, because that would be like 6 letters. So we can see here that the nameplates are quite lengthy. So this could be Agatha Harkness. Some people are also suggesting this first one could be Kate Bishop, because we have a lot of TV show stuff going on here, potentially. And, so that would be Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye TV show. That would be Monica and Agatha, both from WandaVision, which is actually incredibly late. WandaVision came out, I don't remember the exact date, but spring of last year, February, March of last year. It was one of the first of the Marvel TV shows to be coming out in 2021. So I'm a little bit curious why they would wait so long to do that. What's their plans for this? It would seem to me that if you look at some of these portraits, that even if they were the characters that I just suggested, that none of them are all of the same team, other than maybe that you might see it with Agatha and Monica, but then otherwise you could see completely different characters. If this is Kate Bishop, it makes me wonder that there were some rumors about West Coast Avengers, but would one character be enough to make that team, with Hawkeye, regular, and I don't know. You would need more newer characters, I think, to make that team. I don't think there's, unless it's Vision, Scarlet Witch, Monica, Kate Bishop, and regular Hawkeye, that would be 5, but then there's Agatha here, right? So where does that fit in? Would that be part of a possible supernatural release? And that's where I want to talk about this here, this final portrait. Now, a lot of people are suggesting that based on both the nameplate size and the kind of overall appearance, now that we've zoomed in a bit, this could be Morbius. We have the Morbius movie on the horizon pretty soon. And the question is this what we're getting? And is he going to be a legendary? Because like I said in the beginning, this was expected to be a legendary patch. Normally, every 3 patches that there is a legendary patch. Normally, that's roughly every 3 to 4 months, depending on the length. And in this case, we had Omega Red in early November, and this would see probably to the end of February, early March, and that would be appropriate timing for a new legendary character. So is Morbius the legendary character that we're getting, and not actually anyone else? And that's the big question here. Are we getting Monica Rambeau? Are we getting Agatha Harkness? Are we getting Kate Bishop? Are these the suggested ones? It could be. And are we getting a supernatural rework? Is Agatha being put in there in place of Scarlet Witch, possibly? And then therefore, Scarlet Witch is coming out with Vision, with Monica, with Kate Bishop, and regular Hawkeye to form the West Coast Avengers? Maybe that could be the case there. Maybe that's their plan all along. Agatha's plan all along. And Morbius could be a filler for kicking someone else out of the supernatural team as well. I'm not sure who that would be. Probably one of the older characters. So it would have to be regular Doctor Strange or Mordo in that case. I doubt that they would kick Elsa or Ghost Rider, because they were kind of the main members of that supernatural team, unless there's something else we don't know and this is meant to be, I was going to say, a standalone legendary, but they've never really done that. That's what the Dark Dimension characters are for. Typically, all of the legendaries have had their own team. You know, I don't think there's any case where this wasn't the case. So I would expect more. If this is Morbius and if this is a legendary, I would expect him to be the legendary for the Supernatural team that's being reworked. And that's what would make the most sense. Now, let's go jump on back onto Twitter, where they do have a couple of comments on here. It's pretty new. This just came out as of recording this not too long ago. You know, Agatha, Morbius, Monica, not sure on the 4th. They're suggesting that Morbius might be number 2. I don't know. I was thinking, like, is this still possibly Rogue and Gambit? I mean, like, maybe this could be Rogue, but I think the nameplate's kind of big then for just 5 letters. You can see the Magic nameplate there with 5 letters. So some of these nameplates would have to be as small as Magic or Cersei, and these are quite long, so I don't think Rogue or Gambit are fitting into any of these slots personally. I know this looks pretty feminine anyways, but who knows? You know, maybe it could have been Gambit, but based on the nameplates, I don't think it, because you can see the differences in the size, and these are pretty lengthy names. These first 3 are pretty lengthy. If this is Morbius, that could be like that, because Icarus is 6 letters. Morbius is 7 letters. So this does look, you know, if you go back into this one, it does look a little bit longer than Icarus's nameplate here. You know, if you compare the two, you know, I could get my ruler out or my digital ruler out and compare it, but honestly, it probably looks like it could be Morbius based on the lettering. And so it looks like we're not actually going to be getting Excalibur after all. You know, there's no possible way unless this is actually Rogue and Gambit, which I don't think it is. It looks like we were fooled a little bit. So then it brings into question, what are these characters are going to be used for? You know, if these are potentially 3 separate teams being worked on, you know, with West Coast Avengers, 2, I guess. West Coast Avengers and Supernatural, what are their intentions? We know that the Supernatural team is Mystic heavy. They're all Mystic, actually, frankly. And West Coast Avengers, well, Monica, could be Bio. Kate Bishop would be Skill. You know, what are they going to be used for, and what are their plans for this team? I think those are the largest questions here that we have. You know, I think that Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, it's good skill characters. Would they be Doom Raid viable? Maybe as a 5th character, because a lot of people right now are considering characters like Shang-Chi and Moondragon in that 5th character slot. So if the duo is good enough, you could do maybe Secret Avengers. I guess you would have to bump Kestrel out. So whether or not these characters are better than Kestrel, you know, if you had a rework for Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, maybe they're a war team. You know, I really, really hope they're not a war team, but that's a possibility. In terms of more Mystic characters, I don't know, you know, but in terms of their location, maybe they could be Dark Dimension viable. So I would say that Kate Bishop probably is a global character, probably not City, despite the show. I would say Agatha is probably, if this is Agatha, it's probably going to be a global character. I don't think a Cosmic, but you might see like a Cosmic Mystic. This does happen a lot with that trait. Monica, probably global, but I don't know enough about her. So in terms of the character lore of the, you know, of the wider Marvel, maybe she's a Cosmic character. She does work alongside Captain Marvel, so perhaps there's some Cosmic elements. And Morbius, I want to say he probably operates more at the City level, but honestly, I'm not too sure there. So let me know all of your predictions in the comments down below. Do you think that these are accurate? Do you think this is Kate Bishop, Agatha, Monica Rambeau, and Morbius? What kind of traits do you think they might have, and where do you think they might fit into this game? Curious what you think about this. That seems to be the most plausible ones, but I'm interested in entertaining some other thoughts and other rumors as well, and feel free to add those in the comments down below. So until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.